What was it like playing against Boise State and Ashton Jonty?
But it was sick. He was a really good player. Insane contact balance. It was cool because they were number 11 in the country when we played them. After that season, I got my first offer from Oregon State. Before the game, he was like running off, and then he came up to me and he just dapped me up and he said, "Full scholarship, Oregon State University." And then I was like, oh my gosh.
You enter the transfer portal. What happens?
Posts on Twitter, then are getting phone calls, or you start DMing coaches. But I DM'd so many coaches. Coach, how much can you pay me? Because this school is going to be paying me a certain amount, especially if the guy has a great season. Especially if he has an agent too. He could be getting offers from different teams, like backdoor.
I was an absentee older brother, off living my life, abandoned you. You were the number 1 recruit in the state of Oregon. How did that feel? Can you tell us a little bit about the recruiting process?
It was fun because my sophomore year, I got to swing up, and then after that season, I got my first offer from Oregon State. And it was sick because they invited me onto the field like pregame. Yeah. And they had their interim head coach at the time. It was Corey Hall. Okay. It was like in between Jonathan Smith and somebody else. But before the game, he was like running off, and then he came up to me and he just dapped me up and he said, "Full scholarship, Oregon State University." And then he was like, "Oh my gosh."
That's how you got your first offer? I forgot.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was really cool. But then, after that, the recruiting started to like pick up a lot. Yeah, and I got 5 offers out of high school, and then
who were the other schools?
Who were they?
It was Oregon State, Oregon, Air Force, Utah, and Cal. And then Cal ended up winning. I ended up going to Cal.
California. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Berkeley.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about Cal-Berkley. Did you think seriously about any of the other ones? About like Air Force or Utah? Utah would be kind of sick.
Utah would be really cool. No, I didn't even think about Utah or Air Force really. Like, they were really cool schools, but I never even took a visit or unofficial. But I really only thought about Oregon State and Cal.
Really?
Yeah. And I really
why is that? Like, why shun the other two?
Because they didn't really put much into the recruiting. They didn't really.
They didn't tap you up.
Yeah. and Cal had really good academics, and then Oregon State we had the legacy and close to home, and the coaches were awesome too at Oregon State. So
the Dap Up really that stuck in your mind.
Really did.
Keep that in mind, college recruiters. You dap up an 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid to get him to go to your school. I think that would be so hard to be an adult 43-year-old man with 3 children and a wife and a house and a mortgage, and I have to suck up to 16 and 17-year-old kids.
Oh yeah, I always feel so bad for my coaches. Like, don't you gotta hate recruiting, right?
Yeah. Have you talked to any of them about that?
Yeah, I asked a couple of them, and they're like, "It's definitely not my favorite part." But I mean, I can't imagine. Like, so many of these kids, especially nowadays with the kind of entitlement a lot of the high schoolers are going to be having with NIL and stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's like, it's not even recruiting anymore. You're just throwing money at kids.
Yeah.
Okay. It's always cringy to see like Brian Kelly. We saw all the memes of him doing all the dancing stuff and everything once he arrived at LSU with the recruits.
Oh yeah,
You're a grown man. What are you doing?
That is not worth any amount of millions of dollars in dignity for a 63-year-old man to be doing like a TikTok dance to try to lure 17-year-olds to come play football to school. Is that worth it?
It's very strange.
Very, 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 very strange. Okay, Andy. So you were finishing high school, number 1 recruit in the state. Oh, it was funny because wasn't Joey also the number 1 recruit in the state in his class?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they were. Yes, it was.
So our family got no state championships, but 2 number 1 recruits. That's good.
Yeah,
not
that's
bad.
good.
Okay, there we go. All right, so you're deciding between Oregon State and Cal, and you end up picking Cal. Why did you end up picking California, Berkeley? I remember when the coaches came here to our house.
Oh, were you here?
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about South Park. I remember.
Yeah. Like we had like a Family Guy episode on. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I really liked Coach Sermon.
Okay.
And also, I had a really fun visit when I went there.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. It was probably like the sunniest day there. Oh. And it was during Cal Day. I didn't even know it was during Cal Day, which is like the biggest day during like the entire university. Yeah. Where they like just celebrate and stuff like about the university. But I visited and it was really fun and great weather, great academics. I love the coaches, and it just was exciting to have a new adventure and go somewhere else other than Oregon. And yeah.
Oh, so you got kind of deceived by the Cal day. You thought that was like a normal day.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, another bit of deception in the world of college football recruiting.
Yeah, but I really like the Bay too, because there's so much going on.
I know you, Andy. Scott. Andy's a really good job at kind of juicing the life out of a place. You go on hikes. You go to the Golden Gate Bridge. You, Andy. Tell Scott, Andy, about your chess career.
Oh yeah,
Cal-Berkley.
Oh, did you go to the Central Park or whatever it is and just start playing guys?
Yeah, no, I would go to the community chess club on the corner of the street on Telegraph Avenue. And Childish Gambino has a song about Telegraph Avenue, so it's kind of like a bad area. But we would go. I would play people. I played a guy in a full unicorn costume and no teeth one time. But I actually made a few friends there. It was fun.
I know. Andy, first of all, did you beat the guy in the unicorn costume?
Yeah.
No, he was unbelievable at chess. Because there was also a place called People's Park, which is like where all the homeless people live.
Wow. And
it's right up the street from the chess club.
Yeah. And
a lot of them would come play, and they were so good. They were all so good at chess. It was crazy.
It's crazy. Cal-Berkley's homeless population is the best chess team in the world.
Well, I think it's chess, not chest.
Yeah.
Did I say chest? Yes. Scott, I have an accent. Okay, I live in Europe, so I don't make English so big. Okay. Okay. Andy, what was it like that? Okay, so you decide to kind of forge your own path because, like, our whole family or a lot of our family went to Oregon State, right? And you wanted to start kind of your own path down there. What was it like when you first got on campus to start college football? Did it match your expectations, or was it extra like, whoa, this is way more intense than I thought? Or what were the feelings like when you got down there?
When I first got there, I remember we were doing these summer play around practices, but like the coaches were there too. And I remember Coach Bruno, who's one of the quality control guys. He was like the most intense little Italian guy ever, and he was running these. And I remember it was so stressful because I just started to learn the defense, and we were running from different stations of like running different defensive calls, and I had to make all the calls as like a true freshman linebacker, and I was messing them up so much. So I was super like nervous calling all the calls and stuff. And then the same summer, we had our strength coach. His name was Coach Becton, who's now the strength coach at Texas. But he was from like a military background, and he was like the hardest strength coach you could ever imagine.
Nice.
So yeah, we had just the hardest workouts ever with him.
Oh yeah, dude, coming in as a freshman or incoming freshman and doing those summer workouts, boy, that was just life changing. But you were talking about you coming in as a true freshman linebacker, learning all the plays, learning all the defenses. But in high school, you played both ways, right? So like, were you recruited as a tagged athlete? Were you recruited as a defender? Like what was that process like when you were matriculated to Cal?
I was recruited as an inside linebacker, which I never played in high school. And then they wanted to convert me. So
really? Wait, they did?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you, when you got there, were you just concretized into that spot, or did they give you an option at all, or was it just strictly inside linebacker?
It was inside, and then they asked me if I would switch to outside, and I kind of said I want to stay inside for at least a couple years, and then I stayed inside, and they switched me to outside, and then 2 weeks after that, they switched me to tight end, and then the next year they were short on body to running back, so they switched me to running back. So like a third down back.
You switched all over. So what? You played like 4 positions then in college?
Yeah.
Wow.
Scott, what was that vocab word you said? Cameratized? What was that?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Concretized. Andy, you gotta watch out. Scott's vocabulary is insane. He's got so many vocab words that I never even heard of.
You're gonna want to punch me after this.
I've been watching.
You've been watching, Scott. Scott, did you always have a very strong vocabulary, or was this a Yale thing?
I mean, I'd like to say I did, but like also people hate me for it, so I try and dial it back.
It's a skull and bones thing.
No, I was St. Elmo's, baby.
St. Elmo's secret society. You're not allowed to talk about that. We got to talk about that at some point.
Well, yeah, off air.
Okay.
Andy,
Andy.
I really want to know about that.
We're gonna get Andy. We're gonna get Scott to talk about that. Okay, Andy, your career at Cal. What was your guys' like success like as a team? What was your best season? What was your worst season?
Oof. Well,
or were they all terrible?
Most of them were bad. Most of them were kind of bad.
Okay.
I think our best season was 5-7.
Oh yeah, you guys were bad.
But they did just go 6-6 in their first season in the ACC, which was pretty good for them. But yeah, we were not great. But we played some really good teams. Like we played TCU, we played Colorado when they were really good.
Oh yeah.
We played some good teams, but yeah, we weren't great.
What do you think were the reasons why you guys weren't succeeding as a team? I mean, like Cal of old, like when Nick and I were growing up, they had the Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, so they were pretty dang good. But like, what do you think was the biggest factor in you guys maybe not succeeding during your tenure there?
I really am not sure. I don't know what it was. Well, there's not much around football there. Like the fan base, they don't care. So like a home game at Memorial Stadium at Cal versus a Reeser is nothing in comparison. Like Reeser Stadium is just like so much energy, and the entire community is super excited. So I don't know. Part of the energy around football wasn't there.
Well,
interesting.
It's like also, it's more of an academic school, right? Like I feel like with Cal and Stanford, if the teams are not like even when Joey was playing at Stanford and they were like one of the top 5 teams in the country, there was still sometimes very difficult to fill out the stadium at home games.
They would call it the library. I remember Joey saying they would call it the library.
Wait, really? They would call
it was so quiet, and most of the fans are just like old people.
Yeah, all of the like Cal and Stanford fans are like 70-year-old guys that went to the universities back in the day, and then now that's like the diehard fans for the school. Andy, what? Okay, so Cal, you guys weren't great. Maybe like what was the culture like there? What was the team camaraderie? And I guess it's like you can compare it to the team camaraderie at Oregon State now, which we'll touch on of like that. But what was it like?
It was much more business-like than it is at Oregon State.
Okay.
Like there was a rule that we couldn't make. You know how you like break down the team, like your team mascot or whatever. We couldn't do it as family at Cal. So it's kind of seemed like because our coach's reasoning was family's love is unconditional.
Okay.
And on a football team, your love is not conditional, which I can kind of get behind. But we couldn't break it as a family. So that was really interesting, I think.
Wait. So sorry. So like you're going into break, you can't go family on 3, 1, 2, 3, family.
Yeah. That was like a rule. One of my third year there, we couldn't do that. Yeah.
What?
It seemed like kind of there was a little more separation between the coaches and the players, and it could be just because I was a little bit younger than I am now. But it kind of seemed like you don't have as much conversation with the coaches.
Yeah.
Which is it's fine, but it's just different. And that Oregon State is a lot more kind of banter with like our head coach even. And he was a D coordinator, so he doesn't have like that like the head coach mentality, kind of like he kind of enmeshed with his players.
Do you think there is a difference in personality when a defensive coach gets elevated to head coach as opposed to an offensive coach? In my opinion, Scott, do you agree?
Yeah, I would say the offensive coach is usually more like analytical, right?
Yeah.
And the defensive guy he plays much more on the heart, the emotion, like just the drive of playing football and what it means. So I would agree with that. Like, but going back to the Cal time. So like you're talking about relationships between coaches and players and everything like that. And clearly your experience at Oregon State is vastly different, but like, how do you see this going into the future now that NIL is so ingrained and it's only going to become more so here in the next, I don't know, call it 5-10 years? Like, how do you see those relationships actually panning out now that it's like dollars and transient transactions just going back and forth?
Yeah. I think that everybody's just going to be a product, and I don't think that family mentality is going to be there. So the teams that can harness in on that and kind of keep that family identity will be the great ones. that we're going to be able to do that and still recruit with NIL. But yeah, everybody's just going to be a product, and there's not going to be any more relationships. It's going to be a weird thing. Everybody's a free agent. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I wish it was the old way.
I know, Andy, like, because you've been in college all like the past 5 years, and you've kind of seen this whole transition happen. Because when you started in college, I don't think there was any NIL stuff, right?
Yeah. I remember my first NIL thing. It was trading cards. Like, we just signed a bunch of trading cards and we got $600. I was like, oh, sweet.
Oh, really?
That was cool. Like, they were doing like a mass produced thing for everybody on our team to get money. I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah, like that's kind of cool if it's all mass for the team. So like everybody's on the same level, and it kind of raises all of the players. But then, have you seen at all, like, and you don't have to name any names or anything, but like, people get big NIL deals, and does that make them feel separate from the team at all? Like, you get basically this one superstar that's super highly paid.
I don't know, maybe it does, because I mean, people are getting agents now, so it's literally just like professionalism. But I've seen there's a lot of people getting paid everywhere, so it's crazy. I don't know what it's going to end up being like. I don't think it's going to be as sustainable for like the next decade. I don't know how, because these teams have to come up with money every single year for their collective funds to pay their team and to retain their players. So I don't think it's sustainable for very long.
Yeah, and I don't mean this to be a leading question or anything like that, but so you've been kind of touching on it with like just the jump from Jesuit high school, that sort of camaraderie that you had with the coaches and players, and then you went to college. It felt much less so that way, right? But do you foresee like the relationship not only deteriorating between the coach and the player, but now between player and player, and the team aspect of things just falling by the wayside in this new era?
Possibly, probably a little bit. But I feel like there's always still going to be that camaraderie of a football team, but it's definitely going to deteriorate a little bit. I mean, it can't not, because people are going to be a lot of their motives are going to be for themselves with the NIL and trying to see where their best opportunity to make a lot of money is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's gonna happen. It's just, I don't know, man, Andy. I don't know.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
It's kind of weird, Andy. Wait. We come back to the NIL stuff because I still have some more questions about it. But I wanna talk about you graduated from Cal, and then you still had 2 years of eligibility left, and then this is a new thing. You entered the transfer portal. What was that like, going into the transfer portal after finishing at Cal? Like, did you consider staying at Cal for your graduate years? And then what was it like going to the transfer portal? What were your emotions in there? How'd you feel?
Emotions.
Talk about your emotions.
Yeah. It was actually, I was really excited because I got my degree, which I wanted to do. So I could kind of just go wherever now. Like, I put my name in the portal.
Okay.
And
sorry to interrupt. What is the process of putting your name in the portal? It's like the goblet of fire.
Yeah, all you have to do is just go talk to, I don't know, it was like a quality control guy and say, hey, I'm going to go in the portal. And then you get an email like 2 days later.
They take your body and they put you inside the portal.
Like, they don't even try to like dissuade you or anything. Just
Dude,
that's
so
weird.
No, they don't at all be like, oh, are you sure we will stay here?
I think those kind of conversations come with like the head coach. But
okay. So you talked to the quality control guy, put in the portal. All right, then what's the process once you're in the portal?
Post on Twitter.
Okay.
Then you start getting phone calls, or you start DMing coaches. Well, I DM so many coaches from like 20 schools, so I probably sent 1,000 emails and DMs to people. You have to do a little bit of the heavy lifting also.
Yeah. Okay.
But
it's like a job search.
How do they do recruiting when you guys were in high school? Because we do it with Twitter. Twitter is the huge thing that everybody does.
That's so true. Well, Scott, first of all, Andy, Scott and I had a way different recruiting experience than you had. Well, I don't know, Scott, maybe you did, but no schools wanted me. I had to send out so many. I sent out 1,000 emails. Andy, I burned DVDs of my highlight tape.
I remember.
Yeah, and I would mail them out to all of these schools. and beg them to look at it, and I email all of them, and that's kind of how it went. We didn't have Twitter back in our day.
Yeah, I remember you had that video. I'm Nick Alfieri, and thanks for watching my video.
Yeah. Like that's how it was. So it's like, okay, that was the era, and then also if you're not a high recruit, you're just like desperate trying to.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're talking about sending a bunch of DMs and emails and everything like that. We were in the era of just shooting out emails, writing handwritten letters, putting our DVDs in there. We would copy like I don't know if you did this, Nick, but I would copy like I don't know. I think I had like 125 DVDs that I just shot out.
Yes.
And then you'd also go to the camps right during the summer, and whether it be your sophomore year or junior year, and trying to get recognized by probably not. You want to go and get recognized by the, say, university you went to. So like I tried to go to like Duke and get recognized, but there was like JMU there. There were like D1 AA coaches that were there that were doing a lot of the scouting. And like, that's what it was mostly for. So you would go do that. You'd write the handwritten letters. You'd send the DVDs. You would really hope that you got at least 1 star on Max Preps. If you didn't, then good luck.
Wait, Scott, did you always want to go to Ivy League, like an Ivy League school?
Yeah, I mean, like I always wanted to go to a good academic school. Like Notre Dame was at the cream of the crop for me, but it was like sophomore year that I realized I wasn't good enough. I was not going to be big enough, fast enough, all the things. So I started looking at the D1 AA level or lower tier D1 single A. So like that's why I said Duke, Virginia, those kind of things. But once my brother ended up going to Yale, and he absolutely loved it and was balling out. I was just like, dude, this is a perfect option. So that's kind of why I went that route.
Yeah, Andy, look at you asking questions.
I know, yeah.
Hey, the third
curious guy.
Hey, you take Mikey's job.
We play Lafayette. It was a Patriot League school.
Yeah. Scott, they play next year. Oregon State's playing Lafayette, which is that's in Georgetown's league, the Patriot League. You guys are gonna kill them. You guys are I hope you guys are paying them like $1.5 million.
Probably something like that.
Because I mean they're good. They're good for like Patriot League, you know, but I think I just imagine like our Georgetown team going into Research Stadium, like, oh shit.
That'd be crazy.
Oh no. Wait, what were we talking about right before? Oh yeah, transfer portal. So you go on Twitter, Andy, tweet Portland. You said Portland State offered you right away.
Yeah, right away. And then it was pretty quiet for like a month or two.
Crickets.
Yeah, it was mostly just me reaching out to people. Yeah. And then after teams had their spring ball, then they're more set on their rosters and they see where their holes are, and then they can reach back out to the spring portal window. So that's when more teams started to reach back out. And then
when did Oregon State reach out?
During that window. Okay. But it was more like, okay, we have 2 offers out right now. If they don't accept them, then we're going to offer you. So I was waiting for like 2.5 weeks because I had no idea what I was going to do. So I was waiting for like 2 weeks for them to make their decision.
Okay. Yeah.
And the coach who was recruiting me was Coach Boyer, who was awesome. He called me because they were going to come out and see me on Monday. And it was a Friday. He called me and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to go a different direction. I'm not gonna be able to come down and see you, so I'm just gonna offer you over the phone."
Dude, whiplash.
Did you? So you thought when he at the start of the call, he's like, "Hey, he's pulling Michael Scott on you." He's just
it was funny though. It was great.
Oh, that's gotta. Did he do it on purpose or was it just?
He did it on purpose. He did have a little bit of fun with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Was this the same coaching staff that originally recruited you and dapped you up at the beginning?
Most of the guys, or not most of them, some of the guys, like Coach Bray, Coach Boyer was there, Coach Fence, like the receivers coach. But yeah, most of the guys are actually new.
He was actually a coach when I was at Yale.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude. He's the man. He recruited Eric to Yale from St. Ignatius.
No way. Okay, I gotta ask him about that.
Yeah. The coaching world is so small. Actually, it's like so incestuous and small. It's crazy. There's so many. Andy, when you enter the transfer portal at Cal, like, and your team and the guys, like your friends, know about it and anything? Did anyone? Was there any weirdness or anyone like, "Oh, you're leaving us"? Is there any of that or no? Everyone's like,
it wasn't that. for me, there was no weirdness at all. Like I was there for 4 years. I had a great relationship with everybody. It was so normal that I still had my locker and I would just go in there.
Really?
Yeah, I would go in there and I would change in there all the time. I got to see my friends in there. I was like, hey, what's up, guys?
So even after they knew you were in the transfer portal,
yeah. Like nobody
Andy,
stole my friends. So
that's because Andy, you're good. You're a big culture guy, Andy. Like Scott, I went. Okay, so I went to Andy's game. What was it, like 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago, where Oregon State played Cal. So it was the return of Andy Alfieri. I mean, you guys got obliterated, Andy.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
We're
gonna talk about that. I think it was about 44-6. But it was cool to see after the game all of the coaches and players that came up to you. A lot of dap ups, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, I imagine. How did that feel?
It was really fun. It was cool seeing all my old friends, and it was when we were playing on the field. We had some funny jokes out there too. So, but it was awesome seeing all my friends after the game, seeing some cool coaches, and being back in the Bay. It was awesome.
You felt welcomed?
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts, your personal thoughts, as a player and just as a lifelong fan of Oregon State, the Pac-12, just disintegrating before your eyes, also while you're in it? Like, how has that been?
It sucked. I mean, the Pac-12 part disintegrating. Yeah. I mean, what is there? There's just like so many Pac-12 teams right now that were Pac-12 teams are doing so well.
Yeah,
so it's like this could have been an amazing year for the Pac-12. So it's a waste. But yeah, Oregon State has been really fun, and the community in Corvallis, and everybody cares so much about football. It's so fun, and it's just great energy. And I love the coaching staff, great friends. So
it's the Pac-2 now. Okay, you guys are the Pac-2 championship. No, that's so true because Oregon won the Big Ten Pac-12 school. Arizona State won the Big 12 Pac-12 school. Oregon State won the Pac-2 Pac-12 school.
Damn right.
3 of the major conference champions.
There we go.
Schools. Andy, okay, so you just once Oregon State got you that offer or offered you, then did you know right away, like, okay, I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I knew that right away.
You were pretty excited about that, right? Like that felt super right.
Yeah, for sure. Like once they started to talk to me, I wanted to go there really bad, and then after they offered me, I waited one day and then called Coach Boyer and committed.
Why'd you wait one day to try and play hard? Like look like I just
wanted to let it soak in a little bit.
Okay.
And I called him when he was at his kid's soccer game. I remember.
You ruined his kid's soccer game, man. These poor coaches. I think they have no family time at all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Have you ever talked to any of them about it, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, they're there every single day from like 7 to during the season 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like a normal day for them.
Yeah, the coaching life is insane. So, like, okay, talking about coaching life, you got another year of eligibility. Do you have any thoughts on what you're going to do this year, this upcoming year, and then have you ever thought about what you want to do beyond?
Not coaching. No, I don't want to coach.
Coaching.
But, I'm staying here for one more year, and I'm not sure what I do want to do after. If the NFL comes up, that would be really cool. But if not, I would definitely be really happy going to play in Europe too.
I mean, at Cal, you didn't get to be on the field that much, unfortunately. Yeah. But this year at Oregon State, you broke your way in and got to be on the field quite a bit, both on offense and on defense. What was so when you came in, where did they have you, like in camp? And when did you start realizing, okay, you're about to get on the field and actually contribute?
I came in as tight end, and then that kind of gradually shifted to fullback because we had a couple of the receiving tight ends who kind of carry the weight on that. So I was doing more fullback stuff, kind of in the 2 back sets, and I was doing more like inserts and counter and all that. And then it kind of just grew. What was it? The 3rd game of the season, I was my first start against San Diego State, and I played a little bit during the first couple of games against Idaho State and then Oregon. But yeah, my first start was against San Diego State, and then it just kept growing more throughout the season. And then we had a body down, an outside backer, like for our 5th game, and then they asked me to switch. So I was going both ways. I was playing defense and offense.
Dang. Dude, that's crazy because you're one of the very few people in this day and age that can actually say that. That's pretty cool, dude. You've played a lot of different teams throughout your career. Which was the most difficult, the toughest to go up against on either side of the ball?
That's a good question. You know what? A weird answer. San Jose State.
Okay.
Whoa.
And here's the reason on defense. Because their sets as their tackles, they make it super ambiguous if it's a run or pass. So they set like horizontally. So you don't know if it's a pass or a run. So that game was honestly really weird. That was a weird game.
Wait, so they would just kind of like open up horizontally?
Yeah, if you watch the film, like you can't even tell if it's a run or pass if you're looking at the line. Yeah. So I was stuck like just setting the edge on a pass or pass rushing against a run. It was weird.
What was it like playing against Boise State and Ashton Genty? I always say it wrong. You guys did that. You guys actually played him pretty well. What was it like playing against him?
That was probably my favorite game, but
really,
it was a sweet game. In the locker room before they have their music blasting, and it felt like a gladiator ring because the music above was just pounding, and we were all getting ready to play the Heisman finalists. So, but it was sick. He was a really good player. Insane contact balance. It was cool because they were number 11 in the country when we played them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And you guys actually played them pretty well. Well, you guys lost by like 10. You were within a score like for a long time.
Yeah, we were within the score like almost the whole game until the 4th quarter. But
what do you think makes him so good as a running back?
He's just relentless because he'll get stopped for 1 yard or minus a yard or 0. And then after like 4 times of not getting anything, he'll break one for 60 yards.
Jeez.
Yeah. And he has really good contact balance. So if you hit him high, you're not going to take him down.
And he's not a terribly large dude. He's like what, 5'10", 5'9" at best? So
yeah,
he's got low center of gravity.
Yeah, he's like 5'10". He's just solid. He's dense, very dense.
Did Genty talk any shit?
He said 0 words the whole game.
Really?
Yeah. I remember like we would be at the bottom of the pile and he'd just be just silent.
Really?
Are you a shit talker?
Sometimes. There was one time against Boise State, they were double teaming me on a pass rush, and I was telling them, "Why are you guys double teaming me? I don't know how to pass rush yet. I'm trying to help you guys."
So that's the opposite of shit talk. You're nice talking.
Yeah.
No, Andy told me off camera he was doing a little bit of shit talk. We were talking about it in the fireplace room, Andy.
Oh yeah, I say something pretty bad.
We say the Alfieris have some shit talking, but that's actually like it's a little bit intimidating. Genty not saying anything, just silent assassin. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say anything. He stands back there, standing straight up. What do they compare him to? Like the Halloween guy?
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Just straight up and down. Okay, so So you think that basically his balance is one of the things that makes him really good?
Yeah, and he has really good vision too. But yeah, his balance.
All right, so switching it up here from Genty, do you prefer playing on the offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball?
This year is very fun playing defense because you can make big plays on defense and you can celebrate. But like when you're on offense, you're kind of just a cog on the wheel, which is it's still fun, but it's not as exciting as defense.
Yeah,
but
because you get to celebrate. So you're the big you did your gladiator celebrate with your arms. Andy.
Oh yeah.
Defense is a much more loose side of the ball. But what was that like? I mean, because you were getting a bunch of fanfare, Andy, when you were playing those like both ways. Those couple of games, you're getting a lot of attention. How did that feel to kind of be, get some media spotlight?
It was fun. I mean, like because at Cal, I did not have that much publicity as I do now. So it was definitely really fun. After my UNLV game, I had one big play, and then I got a lot more publicity from the fan base or whatever. But it was fun.
And look at you now. You're on the No Warmup podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made it.
You're going up. No, we gotta pick Andy's brain about the NIL situation.
All right, so we've all been through exit interviews. Everybody does it after every single season.
Oh.
Did you notice like a change or shift during your tenure, especially once NIL came through?
Not with my meeting, but I mean, I imagine a lot of the meetings are, Coach, how much can you pay me? Because this school is going to be paying me a certain amount, especially if the guy has a great season.
Yeah.
He could be, especially if he has an agent too, he could be getting offers from different teams, like backdoor. And he has to say, Coach, these guys are offering to pay me $150,000. I want to stay here, but can you guys match this? So I feel like a lot of these meetings now are going to be about money. How much can you pay me? Which is, it's crazy. I mean, we're all free agents now, but I mean, there's still the same kind of meetings like, hey, Coach, what can I do better to play more? Or, but it's crazy how much it's changed.
So is Mikey your agent?
Yeah. Oh God, no.
No, heavens no. Andy, do you have any idea like how many guys, like what percentage of guys have agents? Is it usually just kind of like the superstar guys, or is it a good percentage of the team?
I think there's a few guys, not too many guys have agents, but it is definitely growing.
Me and Scott are going to be your agents, okay? And we're going to get you $45. Okay, Andy, looking to next. Okay, so you got to have success on the football field this year, both ways, and it was a big increase in your contribution. How do you want to like build on? What are you looking for next year? What are your goals on the football field next year? Building off this.
Well, personally, I want to develop more of a pass rush. I did not know how to pass rush this year, but I want to win more games.
Okay.
We have a lot of big games coming up. We play like Texas Tech, Houston, play at Appalachian State. There's going to be some really big games, so that'll be really big wins for the program if we do come out with W's during those games. But other than that, just keep building the relationships with my friends and what else? Yeah, that's really it.
Have fun with your friends and develop a pass rush.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry, Andy. I couldn't pass rush either.
Wait, did you play safety though, or inside
linebacker? Like at inside linebacker, I would tell like if they would blitz me on like a third down, like what are you doing? I will never ever get home.
You were just a bull rush specialist.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, try this. That's it. I got no move. I think I had like over the course of 15 years, like 3 sacks ever. Okay? Just not
try 0.
No, Andy, you got next year, Andy. No,
he's really good contained guy. He could keep it inside.
I'll do my job, damn it.
You do a good job. You do a good job. But there was that one. There was that one that pissed me off where you had a B gap responsibility, right? You came in. I think it was against Boise State. It was a big run of Janty's, and the announcer on TV said, "Oh, Alfieri going inside there, not keeping contained," and he let Janty get outside. It's like, hey,
I remember that play. It was the first series of the game, and I did my job correctly. We're supposed to spill those 2 pullers in the counter,
right? Because
our linebackers come over the top. So I don't know what he was thinking.
That's bad announcing. As an announcer now, this is disrespectful to the players. Scott, you got some more questions for Andy?
Yeah, Andy, do you want to go play zombies?
Dude, so bad. I got Black Ops 6.
Really? How is it?
This is making me feel so old.
It's so much fun. You guys seen the Kyler Murray stat? Since Black Ops 6 came out, he's 0-2. He's the big gamer. So.
He's a big gamer. Also, he has a YouTube channel now. So some of these Gen Z football players, Andy. Actually, that's what I want to ask you. Because football culture now is kind of, it feels like it's different than when we would Scott back in our day. You know, like it just feels a little more friendly, video gamey, paint your fingernails sort of culture. Speak to this, Andy.
Wait, okay, hang on. Wait, can you say that? So it's more like dainty?
It's dainty. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more dainty.
I don't know. Our practices are really hard. We have How? What do you mean? You mean like
Okay,
between teams?
I'm just baiting you. I'm just
Yeah,
baiting
we're trying to get you.
Oh,
Do
God!
you guys don't do 2-a-days anymore, do you?
Okay. All right.
There you go. That's kind of one.
Yeah, no 2-a-days. We can only do, I don't know, a certain amount of padded practices a week.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And during the season, we have one padded practice, and then we have spiders most days.
Oh, is that what you guys call like just shoulder pads and helmets?
Our spiders is like it's a thick, cushiony thing. It's not shoulder pads. We just wear those. Did you guys have those?
Yep, I know
No,
those.
I didn't.
Yeah. I had to wear those when I broke my collarbone under my pads. Additional padding. It's like additional. It's like additional. Andy, whose practices are harder, Oregon State's or Cal's? Give me a real answer too.
They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar.
Okay.
But I think Oregon State's are, just because of how intense our good on good periods are. Yeah. So we have a lot more good on good, like ones on ones periods at Oregon State.
Do you guys do that throughout the entire season? Because like a lot of times teams do that, in camp and at the start, but then as the season goes on, you go like good versus scouts. But did you guys do it through the entire season?
We have a couple periods that are that, but most of them are us for scouts.
You ever get in a fight in practice?
I get some fights. There's some guys on the scout team that sometimes grind my gears.
Andy, you're such a nice guy.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a great outlet for me.
Yeah,
get angry out there.
Actually, what are your thoughts on this, Andy? Like now in this current day and age, the flag planting, all that kind of stuff occurring, it seems like just the gen pop is so like their skin crawls if they see any sort of violence outside of just the game itself. But like, can you speak to just how violent of a game it is, and in practice, just tempers flying? Like, I feel like,
oh yeah,
gen pop has lost the idea or the thread that like males have to exert this like pent up energy in some way, shape, or form. And if you're going up against each other, that's just going to occur.
Yeah, you need that energy. It makes practice fun. It makes the games fun. Like you need a good villain, especially when practice is getting into the thick of practice late in the season. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to practice today. But if you get pissed off during practice, it makes it so much more fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I think people need to understand that is part of the game.
Yeah, you need that. You need that outlet. Andy, did you see that after the Ohio State-Michigan game and Michigan planted the flag on the Ohio State 50 after the game, that an Ohio lawmaker proposed a bill to make it a felony to plant a flag on a field in the middle in Ohio? Did you see that?
That's crazy. Because doesn't that go back to like their wars between their borders or whatever? Didn't they have like wars over the Michigan-Ohio border? So that's why
they? Scott, you're a resident.
I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about, but we definitely there's some animosity. I mean, maybe there was some violence.
The great Michigan-Ohio border war. Is that what
I don't know. Dad told me that. I'll see if that's real.
It may be.
Fact check on Dad's.
It's like the Battle of Shroot Farms.
Yeah. Fact check on there.
Shroot Farms.
Andy, how your workouts going?
They're good. Right now, I'm just kind of taking this couple weeks to do some correctives and get my body back into it because I'm pretty sore after the season. But yeah.
What's your go-to recovery?
I like to just stretch and roll out and kind of just sweat, and then
Stick
that
roll
one
or foam roll.
Foam roll. I don't do the sticks. But Scott, that one circuit that you had, the Navy SEAL one you would always do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, Joey does that all the time, so that's a great workout.
Yes.
To be doing.
There we go.
Yes. Scott, you introduced that to me, and then I introduced it to our family, and Joey now does it. He does 155, 20 sets.
There we go.
Scott, I don't think you heard me. We were doing that like 95, 5 sets.
Oh, yeah.
155, 20 sets. Andy, what do you do?
135 for like 8.
There we go.
Okay, that's really, really good.
Yeah, that's really solid.
Andy, a couple more questions here, just about the comparison of playing at Cal and Oregon State. Facilities, which do you like better?
Okay.
There we go.
The locker room at Cal was really nice. That's because Aaron Rodgers donated $2 million for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the hot and cold tub at Oregon State is 1,000 times better because it's in the locker room, and you get a super long cold tub and a super long hot tub. And at Cal, we just had these two little boxes that were meant for one person that you go in, and they're always broken, so you can never get a good contrast bath.
You know, in that whole Bay Area, all of the infrastructure of kind of fixing things and keeping a society in order, it kind of falls apart. So I'm not surprised that it's broken and it doesn't get fixed there.
Yeah.
Well, if certain people from overseas come into town, then it does seem to get fixed quickly. But, you know.
Oh, yeah. Xi Jinping.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Andy, we were in San Francisco, or what we doing? We went down to San Francisco for like a Jerry Seinfeld show, and there was like a week before this summit, this international summit, and they had totally cleaned up San Francisco. Actually looked great.
You know, there's an app that shows you where people poop in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
Andy, what was kind of the craziest stuff that, like, living in the Bay Area? Because it was, I mean, you had some crazy shit.
Yeah. I saw people poop in the street. That was kind of a normal occurrence, Scott. I saw people poop in the street.
Nice.
People's Park was insane. It was literally hundreds of homeless people very close to our campus, which they just lived there. It was like a historic center for Berkeley. It was there for 70 years or whatever. But when I was there, they closed it off. They put shipping containers around the entire park. So because they want to build apartments there, they had to move everybody out. And there was all these protests and stuff. There was protests every day on campus.
Yeah. You ever go to any protests?
Yeah. As a spectator, it was interesting. More about like Berkeley. There was furries. You know what furry?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're aware.
There was a furry club
on campus.
Yeah, and they had a table. Like they would have like table flyers for their club, and they would just all be in furry costumes. It was horrifying.
Is this institution funded by Cal-Berkley's a public college, right?
It's funded by your dollars.
Our tax dollars going to the furry club at Cal-Berkley.
Literally my dollars.
Yeah, Scott's in California. Yeah.
Great.
Scott specifically said, put my tax money to the furry club at Cal-Berkley.
Oh, Scott.
Come on, Scott. Okay. Andy, what else in football would you want to tell us about? Tell us more. Tell us about your football.
All right. When I first got to Cal,
it
was during COVID. And for our workouts, our conditioning workouts with that really hard strength coach, Coach Becton, we had to wear masks during our conditioning runs.
Like these aren't the training masks. This is COVID mask?
It was a COVID mask. It was cloth. We would wear it up over our nose. And
that's
like sweat. It was like we're getting waterboarded during our workouts. If we wanted a breather, we would have to turn towards the wall and take down our mask and breathe.
Yeah, that's like very similar to waterboarding.
Yeah, it was crazy.
College football is it builds character. Yeah, so you have to have these sort of experiences where you get borderline tortured. Okay, it's good for you. It's good for you. Scott, you got any more questions for Andy?
Andy, I just want to give you the floor. Like, you can say whatever you want at this moment in time. It could be about football. It can be about life. It could be about how annoying your brothers are, whatever you want to talk about. You got however long you need to express your emotions.
Oh, Nick, what
are you traumatized by?
Where to begin?
Your trauma. Andy, we used to share that bedroom that you're in right now.
Yeah, I would live or sleep right there in my crib. Oh, fun thing that we do at Oregon State that we didn't do at Cal. People's birthdays, no matter who it is, head coach, offensive coordinator. If it's your birthday, you get thrown in the ice tub.
Whoa.
We threw our head coach in the ice tub.
Really?
Yeah, it was really funny.
Did he get pissed or was he going along with it?
No, he was laughing about it.
It sounds like Oregon State's culture is way better than Cal's.
Yeah.
I mean
it's a great family, and it is a family environment. It does feel a lot different.
Okay, I hear that, Scott.
Yeah, dude, the guy is just blowing on the garage door. Like I swear he has the blower on the garage door.
Yeah. Andy, hey, I am going to see you in 30 seconds when we both go outside of these rooms and see each other in the family room.
Okay, Scott, I wish I could say the same, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you here? Where are you in Oregon or?
No. I'm down in the LA area.
Oh, what?
He's down in California paying for Furry Club.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. Way to go. All right. Good stuff. Scott, we'll see you. People, we'll see you. And Andy, I will see you by the fireplace.
Bye, Scott.
Bye, Andy. Go play zombies.